I think I've heard of Shaniqua Walker Barnes before. Shaniqua Walker Barnes. Let me get, here's the provided, I'm reading it directly. Dr. Shaniqua Walker Barnes is a clinical psychologist, womanist theologian, that's what it says, just reading it, and ecumenical minister whose work focuses upon healing the legacies of racial and gender oppression. Author of I Bring the Voices of My People, a womanist vision for racial reconciliation, and Too Heavy a Yoke, Black Women and the Burden of Strength. I just want to stop a second and say I am offended for the transgender community. Throw a little intersectionality in there just to break things up for the fun of it. Womanist theologian? I mean, that sounds very anti-transgenderist. Very binary. Very binary. Yeah, this must have been back before she became woker. Anyway, she currently serves as Associate Professor of Practical Theology at Mercer University. She was ordained by an independent fellowship that holds incarnational theology, community engagement, social justice, and prophetic witness as its core values. You couldn't buzzword that one any more buzzwordily, to be honest with you. Today, this morning, on Twitter, pictures started showing up. Daryl Bernard Harrison, some other folks posted graphics of people taking pictures from a book called A Rhythm of Prayer. A Rhythm of Prayer. Which I guess is available at like Target, and I guess Amazon actually has some actual stores. It's available there too. And so I wanted to read you a little bit of a prayer, the prayer that's found here. It's called Prayer of a Weary Black Woman. Prayer of a Weary Black Woman by Shaniqua Walker Barnes, PhD. You want woke theology? You want where it goes, where you can't stop it from going? Here it is. Dear God, please help me to hate white people. White is capitalized. Or at least to want to hate them. At least I want to stop caring about them individually and collectively. I want to stop caring about their misguided, racist souls, to stop believing that they can be better, that they can stop being racist. I am not talking about the white anti-racist allies who have taken up this struggle against racism with their whole lives, the ones who stand vigil for weeks outside jails where black women are killed, who show up in Charlottesville and Ferguson and Baltimore and Pasadena to take a public stand against racism and police brutality, who are so committed to fighting white supremacy that their own lives bear the wounds of its scars. No, those aren't the people I want to hate. I'm not even talking about the ardent racists, either the strident segregationists who mow down nonviolent anti-racist protesters, who open fire on black churchgoers, or who plot acts of racial terrorism, hoping to start a race war. Those people are already in hell. There's no need to waste hatred on them. Perhaps, however, you can make sure that they don't take the rest of us with them, that their attempts at harming others are thwarted, and that they don't gain access to positions of power. My prayer is that you would help me to hate the other white people, capital W. You know, the nice ones. The Fox News-loving, Trump-supporting voters who don't see color, but who make thinly veiled racist comments about those people. The people who are happy to have me over for dinner but alert the neighborhood watch anytime an unrecognized person of color passes their house. The people who welcome black people in their churches and small groups but brand us as heretics if we suggest that Christianity is concerned with the poor and the oppressed. The people who politely tell us that we can leave when we call out the racial microaggressions we experience in their ministries. But since I don't have many relationships with people like that, perhaps they are not a good use of hatred either. And I just stop right there, and it tells you, Lord, grant me then the permission and desire to hate the white people who claim the progressive label, but who are really wolves in sheep's clothing. Those who've learned enough history, read enough books, spent enough time in other countries to make themselves seem knowledgeable, even though that knowledge remains far removed from their hearts, but whose unexamined white supremacy bubbles up at times. I'm not expecting it. When I have my guard down and my heart open, Lord, if you can't make me hate them, at least spare me from their perennial gaslighting, white man-splaining, and white woman tears. Lord, if it be your will, harden my heart. And it goes on from there. Now, that is the result of woke theology. Biblically defined sinful racism, real racism, not the fake racism we have today based upon white supremacy, like I exposed earlier in the program when I was talking about how the Romans were attacking the Germanic tribes, and actually those tribes were the white people back then, and because they lived up north and so they didn't get a lot of sun, so they're white. And the darker skinned people were attacking them and they were oppressing them. And so it was brown supremacy back then. And every time I think about this, every time I watch the opening scene of Gladiator, I'm just triggered. No, I'm not. But other people might be. If they are taught that what you need to do is run around seeking triggers. Be offended. Stoke it up. Your great ancestors were oppressed by colored people. Get mad about it. No, I refuse. I don't have to. I'm an adult. I don't have to do that. There you go. So, this is sinful racism. This is the real racism that is so reprehensible. It was reprehensible in the South because it was race-based. Not this theoretical white supremacy garbage stuff. It came out of the heart. It actually viewed yourself as better than someone else based upon a physical characteristic. It is the reprehensible racism. But now it's encouraged. It is encouraged, it's praised, it's honored because we've turned everything upside down. And we made it religious. Made it religious. A rhythm of prayer is what that's called. Shaniqua Walker Barnes. Look it up. I wasn't making anything up. There's not only graphics of people posting it and stuff, but I went and got the book. Made sure that we had it exactly right.